Welcome to MarcusG.tv. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. I'm a chef on a mission. Today's mission is farm to table. You know, I've made several videos, a couple videos on farm to table, what it means, and some restaurants that are out there that are doing farm to table. I've got to tell you, farm to table is a scam in most cases. There's very, very few restaurants out there that are doing a phenomenal job when it comes farm to table. But they do a great job advertising it. They do a great job. I see it on their websites. I see it on radio. I see it in print ads. Farm to table. They don't even know what farm to table means, these people, okay? Now here's why I'm frustrated. Because these restaurants use literally 4 or 5 farms, right? They stock, 200 items in their inventory, right? Everything from salt, sugar, flour to their beef, to their shrimp. They stock literally 200 items, right? 300 items. Some restaurants stock 600 items. It's a bit excessive, 600, but some restaurants do that. And they're sitting there advertising farm to table. You call them, they're like, what farms are you using? Oh, well, it's out of season right now, but in season, we got our lettuce, we got our, our this and this and this, and some squash, and maybe some broccoli, and you're counting you're talking 10 items. What are you doing for the rest of your menu? Farm to table, you're grossly misleading people to say, well, I'm a farm to table restaurant. You look down their menus and it's like, okay, so you can't get everything local. This is all what they say. Well, you can't get stuff local. Salmon's not local, calamari's not local, shrimp's not local. So if those items are not local, here's what you guys should be doing if you're a farm to table restaurant, right? You should be buying from a small independent producer. You shouldn't be buying calamari from China when you can buy calamari from Rhode Island, okay? It's 200 miles away versus, 6, 7, 8,000 miles away, however far China is, okay? So once you get out of the realm of your area, your state, your region, your valley, all of a sudden standards just totally drop off, right? And it's just like, well, I don't know what I'm buying. I don't know where it's from. My salt, I don't know. It's from a big company. My sugar, it's destroying, rainforests and it's, causing, child labor and unfair practices. And my chocolate, I don't know where that comes from. I think it comes from Africa, Yeah, they probably employ 10-year-old boys on the plantation instead of going to school. And my coffee, gee, I never thought about that. It's probably causing, deforestation and it's probably causing, runoff, and it's probably causing, erosion, and I really don't know where all this stuff's coming from, but that's really not, because I'm farm to table. I have 3 farms, 4 farms that I buy from all summer long, and yeah, I get some local beef because I can get local beef, but I don't really know about all the other stuff. I don't really know. My flour, I don't know where it comes from. I didn't realize they had a flour mill in every state, just about, in every region. I didn't realize any of that. I didn't know I could get local stuff like that. And it's just it's hello, I'm just so frustrated about this. And as consumers, when you go to restaurants, and if they're farm to table, ask them. And if they don't give you a good enough answer, say, well, why are you saying you're a farm to table if you only have 4 or 5 options, 6 options, 7, 8, 10 options? Now, for me personally, I don't like to use the word farm to table. I like to say I support local. I support small independent producers. So for me, it's all about knowing the connection of the food. Because let's face it, I can't buy local lemons. I can't buy local avocados. There's a lot of times I just can't buy local, especially in the wintertime. I just can't do it, right? So I have to say, well, the product that I'm buying, is it coming from a real farm? Is it coming from a real family? Is it coming from, instead of a big, massive corporation? Believe me, I'm not perfect. But, this time of year, what am I supposed to do for, let's say, lettuce, okay? We go through a ton of romaine lettuce. I can't get romaine lettuce locally. So, yeah, whether I buy conventional or organic, most chances are, even if it's organic, it comes from a place like Earthbound or somebody who's just a repacker at that point. They're just buying, with their contracted farms, and they're just a repacker. Like Muir Glen tomatoes, it's organic, it's owned by General Mills, it might be the right thing, but it's not independently owned. So it's how as a chef do I keep fighting to get that dollar into the hands of an independent producer? And that's my main goal. You know, yeah, I'm not perfect, like I said, but it's a matter of knowing that, hey, I have no more options, this is my only option. Or, man, I'm going to find an option, or I have an option, and here's where that dollar's going. It's going to a company that's not using corn syrup in their soda on the gun. It's going to an organic producer for soda. It's going to an independent winery. It's going to an independent whiskey distiller. It's going to an independent sugar maker. Now, we use dehydrated coconut sap, and I know the person who makes it. She's been into my restaurant. She's from halfway around the globe. But I have a relationship with these people. I've been invited to our cognac producer, to our main tequila producer. I've been invited to their places because they want to show me what they're doing, because they're not a big faceless corporation. So you go to a farm-to-table restaurant, you walk in, you look at their bar, right, and it's like big brand after big brand after big brand. These companies buy brands, they strip them of jobs, they strip the community, whatever. Some of them, yeah, leave the manufacturer there, the distillery there, the producer there, but they start changing things right away. In a lot of cases, they don't leave the production there. They take it outside. Johnny Walker, bought by Diageo. They lost 700 jobs in that town in Scotland. That small community in Scotland is outraged over Diageo, and they don't think anybody in the world should be drinking Johnny Walker because they lost their livelihoods, right? Their livelihoods in that small town in Scotland. And we keep bragging, oh, Johnny Walker Black, Johnny Walker Blue, Johnny Walker Red, and this and that, thinking it's the best thing ever. Every time you pour that Johnny Walker as a restaurant owner, you've contributed to destroying jobs in a small community. Budweiser does it. They buy breweries, they strip them. Rolling Rock was closed down by Budweiser. 300-400 people lost their job in Latrobe, and that was such a beautiful brewery with long history. But when you give your dollar to these companies, these big companies, you're helping them with their cause, and we're losing ground on our cause. So as a chef, you've got to be aware of everything you purchase. When you're buying calamari from China, from a big mass conglomerate, you're not doing anything. When you're buying calamari from a small guy in Rhode Island, a small processor, that's where it's at. Even though we're not in Rhode Island, even though it's not local, you're still buying the calamari, you're still buying cheese from wherever, you're still buying all these things. That dollar makes a big difference in every single community that it goes into. And that's that's my main goal, is make sure I know where my dollar's going, make sure it's maximizing. As a guest, you guys spend a lot of your hard-earned money going out to eat. And when you do that at my place, I want to make sure that dollar goes into the right hands, into the right place. And I want to brag about the ingredients that I have in my kitchen. And when you call me up and say, hey, I heard you support local, what do you have? Man, give me the phone, because I got a lot to say. I got a lot of local food here, and the stuff that isn't local I'm going to tell you about too, because I'm proud of everything we do. I'm really proud. So when you see a farm-to-table restaurant, speak up and ask questions, man, and feel proud about the food you eat. And if you're a chef, feel proud about the food that you serve. Man, you know a lot of these chefs can be doing a much better job with what you're doing, but nobody's really woken you up and said, man, you know, I never thought about Johnny Walker. I never thought about Bombay. I never thought about all these big brands. I never thought about Domino's Sugar and Morton Salt and General Mills products in my kitchen. And I never even thought about farmed salmon. Oh my gosh, if you're a farm-to-table restaurant and you're a food activist, farmed salmon should not be on your menu. As far as I'm concerned, there's only a small handful of inland-contained farms that recycle the water, that have good, high-quality farmed salmon. But other than that, 99.59% of the salmon that's out there comes from open-pen, bay-farmed salmon, which is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. I don't care what these salmon companies say. I don't care if it's Schooner Bay. I don't care if it's Lockmore salmon. They don't have, or Loch Duhart salmon. I'm sorry, Loch Duhart salmon. Loch Duhart salmon could be one of the most well-known sustainable salmon farms out there. Then ask them what the mortality rate of their fish is, because they kill fish. Fish die from disease, and the mort crates just sit outside their place because they're going to fill them up with dead salmon. Okay, the most sustainable farmed salmon company in the world. Why is their salmon dying? It can't be that sustainable, is it? No, because you cram them together. So if you're a farm-to-table, or if you're a food activist, farmed salmon should be the farthest thing from your menu. You can get high-quality Arctic char, that's raised in a very awesome closed contained system. You can get wild salmon all year round. You're gonna have to buy frozen, but you can get year round frozen high quality salmon. So there's lots of options out there. Get the farm salmon off. There's so many ingredients. So as a consumer, speak up, because you have options. You work for your hard-earned dollar, and that hard-earned dollar needs to get recycled to other people that are making that dollar into real value and creating jobs and creating a product that's not subsidized by government, and that's going to actually nourish our body and feel good about, and get into hands like me, like a chef who just loves these kind of products. So you got to support these people. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Thanks for listening to my rant on farm to table. If you know a chef, pass this video on to a chef who thinks they're doing farm to table, or they can be doing better farm to table practices. I'm Chef Marcus Giuliano. Thanks for watching.